watch CitizenCon or any of the most recent update videos, the new UI is gonna look so good. I am really ready for this. The Mobilas is gonna be probably the place where you see the biggest updates to things. I understand that they also have made it so that the developers will have a much easier time adding more apps to the Mobilas. So that's just going to grow out. It's going to get bigger and bigger. And my guess is that this in turn is going to be brought with a change to our helmet HUD. I'm not 100% sure on the helmet HUD, but it would be nice to get that interaction menu change. The current hold F to scroll through a menu is great, but I'm really looking forward to being able to interact with things quicker and have like a more fluid interaction, I guess, action. Now that I think about it, I actually really hope that we get a full progress wipe with this update. Just to be honest with you guys, because there's going to be economy changes. So they're making changes to the economy when it comes to certain ship prices, armor, weapons. It's going to change some priorities for people, I think. And I would really actually like to start at zero again. Like, lose all the ships, lose all the money, start brand new, and see how or what methods I might end up using to build myself back up in game in 3.23 with all the new stuff, like new UI, new star map, so things are quicker. You know what I mean? Like a brand new experience with brand new flashy things. I wouldn't know how I myself would build myself up again. I mean, like, I've got a pretty big fleet at the moment. Believe me, I've even left them destroyed to try and have a update where I have to start again. But yeah, I guess what I really want is for the full wipe to come, so I can start again and almost figure out how I'm gonna get to the point where I am now, where, like, I don't really have to worry about if I have money or anything. I know a lot of people don't enjoy a wipe, and I do get that. Personally, though, I feel like sometimes it's actually a good thing for the game to have a point where even new players have a chance to catch up or work alongside players who have a ton of experience in the game. Getting to the top together is better than clawing your way up alone. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know that at heart, I am a loot goblin. I love going into places, into missions, into human mining facilities, and just looting everything. So bunkers and bunker farming, they're right up my alley. Which means that another thing I'm looking forward to is the new FPS updates that are coming. I really can't wait to experience the new AI that the Squadron 42 team cooked up and is bringing over to Star Citizen. I'm not sure it's going to be there in the very beginning, but I'm really crossing fingers for it, because bunkers with a little bit more of a challenge will make filling the ship with the armor and weapons of my enemies feel a lot more rewarding, and I'm hoping there are new missions too. I don't know if there are, but I guess I'm hoping because of new AI and new things that we can do FPS wise. I mean, there's a lot of changes. I'm not going to go over all of them. If you go and have a look at the official videos, they go through a lot. So I'm not going to list everything here. Let's just say I'm really looking forward to having a little bit of challenge and maybe needing to up my skill level a little bit more so that I can run and gun bunkers and extract with all the loot that I can carry. It's something I'm really looking forward to, I've got to be honest, but I haven't found anything out there about new missions except for the missions that we'll find at the new distribution centers. There's going to be a couple of distribution centers to start. From what I understand, there'll be more coming later on. But these buildings will become like little hubs on each of the planets for players to find new additions to the game. From what I gather, the cargo hauling jobs that are coming through will happen a lot out of here, but not only that either. There will be missions for players that don't even have the player leave the building. Like, you'll be doing things for the factions or to get reputation, literally working out of the hub. You won't leave, which could be cool. I mean, I can see myself doing maybe a week or a month or even a season trying to fill up rep with a specific distribution center before I leave, just by doing random things. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll have us filling players' ships, or we'll become like crew members for hire, or I don't know. there's so many different possibilities that come with these distribution centers, and knowing that there's missions that will have us working at the center, I can't imagine the things they could have us do, but at the same time, I would like to, because there's so many different little things that could really immerse you into the game. To track back quickly though, cargo hauling is getting its own missions. Cargo hauling is going to become an actual job in the game, and I'm super excited to try that out, because when I have downtime, I don't want to think too much about what I'm doing in Stanton or which random NPC is gonna turn on God mode and one-shot me in a bunker. Usually, I'll default between either salvaging or cargo running. Like, I will space truck when I have a full afternoon of nothing to do. I have a lot of fun with that. I mean, I'll grab either the C1 or the C2, maybe the Cutlass. It depends on what I feel like flying for the day, and I will just do some cargo hauling, do some trading. So to see this come in to its own game loop is just amazing. And to have that alongside with the persistent hangers, dude, it's like Christmas before July. I am really looking forward to having my own instant space. Like, seriously, I want somewhere I can place my things like my plushies and my Luminalia gifts, and maybe weapon racks where I can put my skinned weapons up and the special armors that I find in my bunker runs. I am gonna have a lot of fun with my persistent hanger. Like, I'm really hoping that the hangers come out right off the bat, because I think finding ways to customize it, or maybe even just having things to spend money on in order to customize them, will create yet another part of the game where I can just have a nice cup of coffee and relax for a while without needing to worry too much about whether or not death is about to find me again. It's not only the Persistent universe that's getting some updates, Arena Commander is also getting some love. Obviously, the FPS updates and the FPS things are definitely going to be in there. Master modes are still going to be in there, but the mode, or the system rather, that I'm looking forward to testing in Arena Commander during 3.23 is definitely the engineering system. I am super keen to test that whole system from top to toe, because I really want to see how it all works and how it's going to force people or force crews or create space in crews for people to actually have specific roles or stick to their roles within their ship. Like, I know it probably most definitely means no more solo running a reclaimer for millions of money, but also there's going to be a lot more to do than just wait around when it feels like there's just too many people in the party. Like, I don't want to sit in the kitchen all day and wait for us to mine a rock. I want to be part of the ship, whether I'm busy repairing it or taking care of something, or even just checking the stats or putting out a fire or, replacing a battery. I think it's going to be great for the game. It's going to be great for players. Maybe solo players or smaller parties are going to have to find new ways to do things, but like the engineering system, it's going to change everything, and I am super, super keen on that. I'll be definitely checking it out, and who knows, there may even be a video or two about the experience, like while I test it out in the Arena Commander. Are you going to test it out? Tell me in the comments if you're going to be testing out the engineering as soon as it hits the Arena Commander. I think the last thing I really am looking forward to in 3.23 is going to be the character creator updates. The new hair, the beards, the colors, and the ways to customize our avatars, it looks like it's going to be super in-depth, which in my mind means a lot of options and the ability to make my character truly unique to my own Star Citizen story, or their own Star Citizen story. Like, being able to export and import appearances is gonna be awesome, and the first thing that brings to mind for me as a creator is I need characters for my videos now. The first one I'm definitely going to be making is our instructor character for all of our lessons videos, especially our salvaging lessons videos. Maybe we're going to restart that whole playlist over, and it's going to be Star Citizen Salvaging 101. We'll have a specific instructor, and maybe with the export and import, it means that we have different characters that feature. I think there's a lot of fun that can be had with it. Like, I'm really looking forward to being able to make my character my own, but also someone that is recognizable. I mean, if you saw the instructor walking around after just watching Salvaging 101, wouldn't you stop to say hello? 3.23 is looking like it's going to be amazing. It really is. I know that it's probably going to be staggered releases on these things. Like, we'll probably have 3.23.1 and 3.23.3, yada yada yada. There's so much that they've listed out here. I can't see it all coming in one single patch. I don't know. I just, maybe it's just being let down so much that I'm trying not to be too positive. I don't know. But there's so much planned already that even by the middle of the year, we're going to have a very different game in so many aspects. And the best part is that every single part of it is super, super exciting. What are you guys looking forward to most for 3.23? If you haven't yet, tell me in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button. It's good to be back. It's good to see you. It's good to meet you. My name is Solden. And until next time, farewell, citizens.
Your middle tower is under attack.
As suggested.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Pascal, who are you and what do you do for Star Citizen?
Hi, my name is Pascal. I'm a gameplay programmer in Frankfurt, and I'm programmer stuff like coding and whatever that is.
What is it?
Most people can't really. Yeah.
No, what does a gameplay programmer do with regards to FPS? Are you the one determining when left foot goes in front of right foot? What's a programmer?
No, that's for more smarter people. I'm the one that Zach screams at when he wants something to a game. Hey, can we do X? And then I go, probably. Let me have a look, and then we get around, and eventually we get a task added for that.
So it's that classic,
That's how it works.
that classic relationship between designer and programmer. Can we do this? No. Can we do this? Maybe. You'll let me know? I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Zach chimes in once or twice a day. Hey, by the way, query. Can we do this?
It's pretty much the Austin Powers thing where you've got to ask them 3 times and eventually they'll say
That is oh my god, that is the relationship between designer and programmer put perfectly, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Nick, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Oh yes, so I'm Nick. I'm assistant designer 3, so I'm on the core gameplay team, which is anything FPS related, but we obviously focus on the features for FPS and Star Citizen, so I work quite closely with Zach. We're kind of like the weapon buddies. So I work on entity setup, I work on balancing. I've also just picked up keybinds and everything kind of FPS related. That's kind of me.
Okay. And last but so words, Axel, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Axel. I'm also a gameplay programmer based in Frankfurt. Lately I've been working on reload improvements, and I wore my favorite t-shirt today.
What does it say? Honk?
I run rapid.
Exactly.
Your
Is there an
middle
explanation?
tower is under attack.
Just
The enemy's bottom
Honk?
tower has fallen.
Honk. One more? Honk.
okay.
It's a power move.
To be fair, actually it's not German.
It is a power move. We do a little submission display for Axel there. I submit to your power move. All right. So, let's jump into the questions because we wasted enough time. If you've never seen Star Citizen live before, what do you do? This is a show where we take questions from you, the Star Citizen community. We posted a thread up on Spectrum, which is the bespoke communication platform available on robertspaceindustrials.com. We let you submit your questions, vote up which ones you want to see answered most. Then we let Zach and Nick and Axel and Pascal jump in there, ignore your voting, and pick the questions they wanted to answer most, which is what we got here. We've thrown them up, we mix them around, and we're just going to jump all around this list here and just jump right into it. Right off the bat, Sniper Glint.
Look there.
I'm going to start with Sniper Glenn. We snuck that into the show. We didn't talk about it. We just showcased it. Like, I'm like, people are going to notice. People notice. I've seen a lot of comments. Seen a lot of comments on Spectrum and social media about, Sniper Glenn's bullshit. Well, I used our one swear. Sorry to get mad. Talk to us. Talk to us about Sniper Glenn. Why is it there? How does it work? Who will see it? How does it play into FOV angles and everything? Talk to me all things sniper. Go.
So, sniper glint occurs when a sniper is in gun sight and they are aiming at you at a specific angle. So, imagine if we say that target A is sniper and sniper is here, the target is here. It won't matter necessarily what your angle is, it matters what the sniper's angle is. And we're primarily doing that based on what you imagine FOV of the player, right? They have like a cone in front of them, and that determines whether you can see the glint or not. And that glint angle is customizable. I previously said like 11.5, again, we were spitballing, we're just trying things out. There's a minor glint and then there's a direct glint. So the minor glint is obviously when you're in, let's say it's 10 degrees, and that minor glint is visible for 7.5, but when they're directly on you, we shine that major glint. This is primarily done because of how powerful snipers are in the Pacific universe, and if you're injured at all and you're wearing a heavy helmet, they can just one-tap you in the head, and the cost of death is very punishing. It's very high, along with obviously, a sniper being a powerful weapon. We still want to enable the fantasy of it, but you've got to have that initial feedback for you're about to get the line of the shot, they're doing things, and to obviously there's lots of implications there with how that looks, how that feels. I've seen a lot of people talking about a lot of suggestions, and a lot of them are very post-fire oriented, so we want some pre-fire orientated warning that this is going off and occurring, and hey, you should be careful. We're doing some other things as well with regards to snipers, with removing auto-zeroing off all scopes, and we're increasing the zeroing increments, so you have to focus more on landing your shot. And yeah.
So to follow up some just the things you said, and then Nick and Atoli, I want you to jump in here. So you mentioned customizable. You mean you can customize it, we can customize it, not for the player.
We can customize it. So each scopes, they may different scopes may have different FOVs and things like that to allow not customization, but differentiation between manufacturer. So some might have different modifiers on different glint angles, and you can pick the one that okay, cool, this is how I'm going to play my sniper.
And then when you mention, obviously death is punishing. It's punishing now because the time it takes to get back into the fight. This gets more punishing when you consider death of a spaceman and all those things that we talked about. Is those things, the more of those facets come online, finding ways to help people stay alive in these situations becomes more important. So separate plays into that. One of the questions in the chat was instantly, how does this work at night?
There is. Oh, Nick, do you want to work on that one?
No.
Okay, so regardless of lighting conditions, the glint is there, and that is because of how powerful these weapons are, and how these things are needed to be in to essentially say, hey, there is this incredibly powerful weapon aiming on you. You have time to react if necessary. They have to line up a shot on you, and so on and so forth. So it is visible during the night. I'm aware that is controversial, and if anyone has any good alternatives they'd like to suggest, please give feedback. We're more than open to hear it, but this is a very gameplay orientated thing.
Zach and I, we had a playtest the other day with our lead Torsten, not Nook, Layman, and I really want players just to have a go with it, because I think it's really, it really adds to gameplay, especially when we want to make snipers really powerful, especially if 50 cal snipers like these. We really want them to be beneficial and really reward that gameplay, but at the same time it needs some sort of balance. It needs some sort of counter to that. So I think, especially with the angles that Zach mentioned, I think at first it's a bit like, I'm not sure, but once you give it a go, I think, like the crosshair we found at first, when we were talking about the crosshair, we were like, how are we going to implement it? And then after a while, after you've been using it, you're like, actually, this feels great, and we can't imagine not using it now. So
Yeah, the key thing is when you look at people, especially in places like Junktown, when there's a lot of, it's very dark, it's very hard to see things, and you have a sniper, and at the moment, currently, we don't obviously have the most fantastic feedback for post-shot for the snipers. For example, we don't have the really obvious traitors, we don't have the really obvious muzzle flash, and the audio doesn't go far enough and things like that, so we are aware of those things. But it's very hard to see the sniper at Junktown, and it just leads to this kind of degenerate play style where it's like someone is not engaging with Junktown, right? They're there to just sit and be a sniper. They're not necessarily they're not contesting Junktown. They're not doing it to their team. And there's a couple of examples of this, and it's healthy for the game.
So, CIG says sniper is a degenerate new play. Send your letter to Zach. Here,
I one more thing I will add on this as well. I've seen some comparisons to the games and looking at glint and stuff. Our glint is a lot smaller. Our glint is a lot less obvious. And obviously we only showed one distance, but you'll see that the glint is not like the light of God itself is looking at you.
If people have seen 1.5 second art
Your
and
bottom
in
tower
one
is under
situation,
attack.
the imagination's going wild with it. Like all things,
Your
try it,
bottom tower
test
has
it, feedback, try it, test it, feedback, we change, try it, test it, feedback, we change. It'll be dialed in like anything else. And if you didn't get the thing about the chicken thing, joking.
The enemy's top
I'm
tower
joking at Zach's
has fallen.
expense because of the word he used. I will say, there's someone in the chat named Kakashi.
Of course.
Kakashi said, as soon as you add Sniper Glint, everyone will play quick scoping snipers that run and parkour around.
Not yet.
Do you agree with that? Do you disagree?
No, because we're increasing sniper ADS time as well. So snipers will have a longer ADS time because if you play them against them in close quarters at the moment, they're very oppressive. So they're also going to have bigger hip fire and things like that. But they're also going to have much more higher damaging profiles than they currently have. Like the fall off on them is very strong, things like that. So leaning into the power fantasy elements of the sniper, while making sure that hey, I'm playing Stasis and I don't expect to die to some guy who's running around with a sniper rifle because that's not the FPS experience that we really feel.
And you don't need ADS if you're no scoping. So it's all kind of quick scope, there's really ADS, it's not just no scoping, it doesn't affect you. And the glint.
We adjusted no scoping as well a little bit, like we with the whole recoil thing that we added with this FPS improvements, the snipers got their recoil pass as well, I think. Obviously this is still work in progress, but spray and recoil no scope can be different from spray and recoil in ADS. So when you're not ADSing, no scoping can be adjusted by increasing spread or increasing the recoil there to make it harder to hit.
We typically don't have spread on our weapons when you ADS, so there's very few exceptions, but yeah.
I think the moral in all of this is simply try it, keep trying it, give us feedback, keep giving us feedback. These guys keep reading the feedback. We talked to the player experience team and such last week and stuff. It's a cycle. It's a cyclosis. The only thing that doesn't help is doing it. Try it, feedback, process the feedback, make changes over and over again until we get to some place where we find consensus. It's never going to make everybody happy. Nothing's ever going to make everybody happy, but it's about finding consensus, and we'll find it. Let's jump into more of these questions because we're already 1/4 of the way through the show. Do any of these changes to scopes fix the issue of armor clipping into the sights, or is that simply an armor issue?
We are investigating this. It is sadly an armor issue. When we go into ADS, then our armor clips in due to animation because we're not bringing the weapon to our eyes. We're looking into that, and we're planning on releasing for 323 a temporary fix for this. It's not final yet. We're looking into other options to make it a permanent, good solution, because the current solution has a few not so pretty things or a few issues. In the future there will be the perfect no clipping. Hopefully I will look into that later on.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure they're clipping occasions, even when they were not wearing armor.
Bounty!
Yes,
Yes.
but what we've done is we've basically taken what we call like the near eye renderer or something. I'm not I'm not a graphics programmer, but essentially
Near plane.
imagine near plane. So imagine if like this is the end of your gun, right? Basically we clip the end of this gun off, and you only see the clipping of the end of the gun off if you're in high FOV and while you're going out. But the level of improvement this has is incredibly drastic. So right now we're really struggling to have it block views on sniper rifles, for example, or assault rifles at the times for. The improvement is monumental, and the patch after 3.23 we've hopefully got something that is, a lot nicer and a lot smoother than that.
Are there plans for more grenade types?
Yes, we have a lot of grenade types already prototyped some of them, or implemented some of them for Squadron. The basic FPS types or FPS grenade types that smokes, flashes and whatnot. And from there on we're gonna move on to the more sci-fi things and other FPS devices as well.
Done.
Nick, do you want to give some of the examples that we've been cooking up and
Your
can
top
talk
tower
about?
is under attack.
Do you mean the sci-fi ones, or do you mean just the standard?
I'd say the more standard contemporary ones.
Yeah, so obviously we've got like
It's under
we've
attack.
got the flash stun and Farragut, obviously like Pascal mentioned, but the flash grenade, or even the stun grenade, concussion grenade, we're kind of playing around with different ideas of how exactly we want to do it for Squadron. Obviously with PvP as well, there's you've got to be careful with balancing and stuff like that, but we have played around with the idea of the angles of where it goes off. So obviously if the flash goes off directly in front of your face, how long that would have that effect on the screen, whereas opposed to if it just happens to put in your peripheral vision to your right hand side, and how long that would have an effect, and then after effects. And we're obviously working with that. We've got a really great health system, like the PDL system in our game, and we looked at some of the effects that we could have reduced on the eyes, the after effects of being stunned, and how that all plays into it as well. And again, like smoke grenades, again, it's so different between PvE and PvP. How long does the smoke last for, performance-wise? So we're obviously looking into all the different factors of what happens bringing something from a single-player experience into a multiplayer experience. But they're not gonna, reinvent the wheel necessarily. They're going to be kind of what you expect for those classic items. But then, like Pascal mentioned, we are going to start introducing some more sci-fi elements, things like area of denial kind of types of devices as well. So, yeah.
Don Steele Game in the chat asked what
Radiant
grenades have
structures are fortified.
They will make a light, the flashbang especially, but
It's like a
I'm
big
not sure if you count this as glitch. If you look really close, it will scope my flashbang.
Sorry. You mentioned that the health system, the next question we got here. Does CNG have any plans to replace things like percentage of health with more immersive vitals, things like blood pressure and heart rate, so players might feel more immersed in the experience of Star Citizen?
So in terms of the overall health meter, that's the current goal at this time, but we are doing some things related around medical gameplay at the moment. For example, with injuries, we're doing a current balance pass to make them more of kind of like, a story of combat that you've been through. At the moment, they're a bit too heavily RNG reliant than I like. You can sometimes enter a bunker and walk out with worse injuries, and sometimes walk out with like or it's not really your character, it's not really the story of your character that's going through. But there's also some things we're working on to kind of add to medical gameplay. So the thing we've been talking about is the pre-down state, where we want to move away from reviving people with the general med pens and have specific pens to revive people with. So the pre-down state is also very handy because imagine if like as soon as your health hits zero, you can essentially focus on crawling into safer space to be able to be revived at the moment. Because if someone goes down, the majority of the time people are just trapped feeding people, their corpses into cover, and it obviously it looks a bit wacky. So the pre-down state is quite nice, and increasing the PDL costs for being revived and getting back up and things like that. pre-down would be a very limited window of time as well, so it's not like you're seeing people falling on the ground for like, 2 minutes sort of thing.
And there's we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, there's a new health app being added to Mobile Blast in 323 that'll give you more detailed stuff like that. It's still being developed, but you'll see more health-driven information that's going to be made available to players which might help with that sense of information. That's a question about markers. Skipping that. When it comes to ammo repooling, are you defining different types of ammo across different weapons? Rifle, pistol, sniper, shotgun, etc. Or will ammo pools be bespoke to each weapon?
I can chime in. So it will be bespoke to each weapon's ammo. So, for example, when you're repolling a P-Force ammunition, the ammunition that blocks the other weapons will not be touched. So it's for that weapon only. A couple of things to add here is that, like, right now in the current iteration, you will be able to repol only if you actually have that weapon either in your hand or in your back. So you saw the damage animation in the ISC, so you have it in hand. So if you have it in your back, you will automatically holster it. And if you don't have that weapon, you won't be able to repol. And so that's the situation in the current iteration, and we'll see where we go from there. So please give us your feedback and you get your hands on it. One more point, actually something that we didn't show in ISC but will be included in 323, is that you will be able to trigger repolling. In the inventory UI, when you right click to a magazine, you see the context menu, you will see the repol option there, and when you click that, inventory UI will close, and then will trigger the regular damage animation, and then similar to goes with Root UI as well, like when you're in Root UI and then when you hover over the weapon and use a hotkey, same way it will trigger repol. So you will be able to trigger from the menus as well.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
There's a question here as a follow-up to this, saying that all the examples of mag repooling that we were able to show in ISC were ballistic, and asking whether that works on laser stuff. Before you get to the answer, I want to take the opportunity to comment a little bit about why you see certain things in ISC and why you don't. The guys, I'm going to shout here because they deserve it every week. Will, Dave, and Alex, who make all the footage for ISC each and every week, they work in a world. If you consider Alpha that you guys play, and it works this well from time to time. It's still a pre-release build. Things work as this little button. And then underneath that, there's PTU, where fewer things work and there are more bugs. Then there's Evocati, where even fewer things work and there are even more bugs, and we generally NDA it and stuff like that. They work even before that. So the place where they work, every frustration you ever have gets visited on them about 20 times each and every week. And then they persevere and they make some of the best damn stuff. ISC is better today than it's been in any time in its history. And that's because of Will, Dave, and Alex and the struggles that they're going through. They're currently struggling right now with the new cargo stuff, new hangar stuff. Literally this minute they're doing that right now because it's so early. So we don't always get to show every single aspect that you might expect because we're working so early in the pipeline. So with that said, we weren't able to show laser repooling, but you can repool laser stuff. How does that work?
Yes. It's actually gonna work the same way. So in the current iteration, they're all mags, they're all subject to repolling, except for tools. So not stolen dedicated salvage tool at this point in time. So all are the same. We have the turn to long-term idea that you toy with, which is like tools around differentiating energy weapons from ballistic weapons by giving energy weapons some automatic ammo regeneration. That's kind of similar to energy weapons, but that's for the future. So yeah, for the time being, they will report all the same.
Yeah, I would just add right, Jared. I think they did a fantastic job. We shot our bits earlier on, and then we had a chat with them, and they were just amazing at being able able to capture what we were kind of talking about. It felt like I was waffling on, and like, they got exactly what I was talking about. But yeah, so basically, obviously for right now, for 323, obviously it's much more easier for balancing and stuff to make sure that both ammo types will repool. But as Attila mentioned, yeah, we are talking about obviously when armor suits get the resource network. Potentially, we're looking into the idea of the ammo suits being able to triple charge, because at the end of the day, the energy weapons are using batteries, right? So they don't have the physical capacity, and so the idea is that they might be able to slowly charge up. So there's obviously pros and cons to both, and that's how we are going to eventually differentiate between ballistic. You know, ballistic may do more damage, heavy hitting. Obviously, it's limited by its capacity, right? And it can you need to obviously reload and run out of bullets and refuel, whereas laser, for example, doesn't have a drop-off, so it can travel much further. Then obviously we've got to think about overheating, we've got to think about if it does overheat, but it also can just then recharge, you don't need to worry about running out of ammo per se. So yeah, that's kind of how currently, right now, it's the same, but eventually we are looking at the ways we can differentiate the two.
Do the other FPS items, every time about the voltage learning, are there thoughts about giving them batteries and stuff as well?
The grid molecule?
Yeah. Or just any of these other things that aren't strictly FPS weapons, but they're obviously energy based.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're open to ideas of everything that can be battery wise, absolutely can be charged up. Yeah.
Just a chat right now is imagining. I think Vlad said something about bringing a car battery to replenish weapons. Just somebody running around with a giant battery.
We're open to ideas.
The big interesting position on the combat field. Just the guy with all the recharge cables.
You'd be a professional, you know.
While we're talking about reloading and refueling stuff, will there be some way to either cancel or completely prevent reloading, since it's
Reloading?
Yes.
Breaking out.
Yes. So the answer is yes. You will be able to cancel the reloading and refueling process by probably sprinting and jumping. So there's a list of actions which we can cancel refueling with, or you cannot do while refueling. So we already have the system, but I don't have the full list of actions in mind right now. But you will certainly be able to cancel that option.
Can you cancel other people reloading?
If you kill them, that is the ultimate cancer.
That's a bit of a
Or knock
cheat
them
code.
over, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. Can you knock them over and it cancels their reload?
Well, yeah, force reaction.
That's ninja.
Bring it out, yeah. If someone throws a grenade, fine, flying, you're not going to be able to run much bring it back.
And if somebody's in the middle of reloading, I can turn on combat and punch them? Will that interrupt me?
Depends on how you punch them. You knock them out, yeah.
Well, except I want a full-on WWE explosion, like Steve Bender keeps turning me on. Just think about it. WWE tools.
Yeah, but Zach and I have also spent a lot of time looking at, we've called it an actions matrix basically. And we basically looked at everything, jumping, crouching, throwing, what actions are you doing, what else are you doing now, so we're definitely working through it. It's a big list. You try and think of every single action you're doing, and then it's like, do I want to reload, do I want to heal, do I want to holster? So it's a big list to get through, but we're working with obviously engineers to basically decide exactly the kind of the game that we want to make and where we want to give freedom to the player, and then what actions are more punishable, like if you've committed to that, then you've got to finish the animation and so forth.
Yeah, for example, the big action matrix work we talk about, an example would be the med pen, right? Which is very quick now, but if you make that kind of process longer in the future, you might not get a sprint out now, you have to commit to it sort of thing. So on the design side, we can kind of pick and choose where that goes. It goes a long way to making the game feel less clunky when you have more autonomy and control over your character, and the movement and the feel of that is, it's very important. It's where the word clunk comes from, right? It's an indescribable feeling of oh, this feels janky, this feels clunky. Typically comes from actions not working as you'd expect.
That's great. We're gonna stay on the repooling. I got caught Lacuna and Andrada in chat. So that's exactly what it is. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Yes. That is my roots. I will say, I'm from a working class background in England, so everyone you see in the game industry is, usually a bit more polished and nicer. But I
Not everyone.
say that.
Look at nobody looks at me and says that guy's professional.
If you want to talk about professional, you should see his desk at work. It's horrific.
It's terrible. It's got Warhammer figures. It's got Magic the Gathering decks, Yu-Gi-Oh decks. There's some Heinz barbecue sauce on here.
Leftover cake, cans.
There's a shotgun. There's Cheetos that Tom Happy gave me.
Anyone with OCD, like me, I just can't sit next to him, but unfortunately I'm forced next to him.
We have
My
the
desk
most
is clean.
beautiful dichotomy, like next, we sit right next to each other, and I've got this minefield, and there's this lovely diorama of figures and so on and so forth. Gotta bring all the cool stuff. Oh, it's not focused. Yeah. Mainly Necrons on here though.
Good cow for life. Alright.
Tau is really
That's rogue. Jared, you
Yeah.
seem like a Tau guy.
Yeah, I don't think.
I like robots.
How
I like
does it
robots.
fit the aesthetic of calling
That's why I like it. They stick out like a sore thumb. It's like Apple showed up. It was just like, hey Warhammer, we're here. I like really how upsetting it makes everybody else. So, all right, back to reloading. Question from the chat. NoX 4085 asks if there's been any thought about large weapons that may actually need a frame.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't played Paradise at the moment? But not on our radar. But that's what we have ships for, right? The good team gameplay. But yeah, not on our radar. Nothing's coming up for now.
Can we also pull magazines from our backpacks and equip them to the suit item ports instead of reloading my currently held weapon so that I can stock up my suit all?
In the current station, no. So the pulling process will reload your weapon. However, to quickly stock up your suit item ports, you can just open up the loot UI and then with a mouse click you can move your backpack max to your suit. Very easy. It's going to take a second. So it can be done easily, but not automatically.
Let's move on. We got some stuff for Dynamic Processor here. So Dynamic Processor is another one of the new features that are coming online with Alpha 3.3. This, basically, depending on the type of combat that you wear, some will be able to provide you, a little virtual cursor that aligns with where your gun is going. I first saw this feature in, I think, Blue Thunder back in 1982 is where I first saw it. So, I was like, when it showed up here, I was like, oh, it's Blue Thunder.
The enemy's
I'm sure
middle tower
some people
has
have
fallen.
better weapons than me. I'm a little This question says, will we have any reason to use laser attachments on our weapons with the new dynamic processor?
Yeah, absolutely. So go on, Phil, you take it.
Me? Okay, yeah. Obviously, there's other weapons which you might not want to wear a combat helmet, or other situations where you might not want to wear a combat helmet, like we have these environmental suits, and in these scenarios you might want to wear a weapon or a tool and with a laser pointed to it to know where you're aiming at. Or you have further down the line with different armor types, different armors equipped like a medical helmet or whatever. Not sure what's the design for all of these armor types. We can go into detail about this. But there are definitely situations in our game, and we will create even more situations along the line where the laser pointer will still be necessary or useful.
Yeah, I think back instead in ISC,